In this final blog for October, we thought we would do a recap of the things we've been talking about in terms of the ways we're in our own way and upper limits and so on. And I thought it would be fun for us to do it together, Paul, and just have some interaction.
It's great. I'm thrilled to have the conversation.
Good. And so as I've been thinking about this whole idea of being in the box and what happens, the thing that stands out the most for me is, what do you do once you're in the box? What are the most important things? We've talked about what you shouldn't do and so on, but I'd like to dive in a little more about when we get in those situations where we're uncomfortable. What's going on might be uncomfortable. It might not even involve us, but we're watching something that feels uncomfortable, or we're in an interaction. And suddenly we know we're jammed. We know it's not going the way we'd like it to go.
Yeah, we can see that there's a train wreck ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that reptilian brain so often clicks in, and many of us freeze. But others want to just flee. That's the natural instinctive kind of, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's retreat from that situation to a place where I feel more in control, where I feel safer, more comfortable.
Yeah. And in The Magician's Way, I think they did a particularly wonderful job of articulating, if we leave the situation, if we handle our discomfort that way, we close the door to the potential learning, the opportunities that could be on the other side of that door.
Exactly.
Plus, you and I have talked about how it allows us to stay in our story.
Of course it does.
You know, we can be leaving, we're driving, we're in another situation, we're reviewing it, and we're more and more, I would say, almost entrenched in that story.
Sure, because we're gathering evidence by retreating, by not staying and seeing it through and retreating. We're just gathering more and more evidence to support the idea that we're not capable, or we're somehow not enough, or we can't push past that. And as we gather all that evidence, we really convince ourselves more and more deeply that we'll never push past whatever it is that's got us feeling uncomfortable in the first place.
Well, and what I notice I do is I gather evidence about why it's the other person, why it's the situation, why it should never have happened. It wasn't a well-managed meeting. It's not a situation the teacher handled well with my child, or this or that. Whatever it is, I want to make the other person or the external situation the fault.
Right.
And so now I do gather more and more evidence to kind of almost help myself feel better.
Yeah, it's really self-soothing, isn't it?
It is. That's a great word, I want to ease my discomfort.
Exactly,
And, retreat to a place where I feel safe and comfortable. Yeah. So let's talk about, if we don't retreat, let's say we find the muscles, the strength, we don't leave the situation, then what? What's the next thing that needs to happen? Well, as I've just alluded, if you keep on judging the other person, the situation, whatever's going on, that's just going to keep your system revving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the other thing that we know, certainly from our work with prime potential clients and so on, the key is to be able to pull back and come into yourself.
To come into your own sense of who you are and what you are, your own sense of strength. One of the things that we've been talking about is that, when we're in those uncomfortable situations, or when we're confronted by things that cause fear or discomfort to rise up within us, often it's those very circumstances that we find our power has been hidden away in. And if we'll just hang out in that for a little while and push through it, we rediscover something so valuable for us, which is our own power, which helps us to move forward in all kinds of different ways.
Right, and I notice you've conveniently leapt over the hardest bit, which is so cute. So there's the pot of gold, there's the learning, there's my power that I could reclaim, that I've given away in my discomfort and fear.
Right. So what's the hardest bit that I've left over?
I think the hardest for most of us is to open our hearts, is to take a little pause, whether you think of what Eckhart Tolle's talked about in just that space, but I would go further than just being the observer. Come into your heart and see if you can find your curiosity,
Yeah.
your compassion, your interest, your love, your caring, whatever values are the most important to you. In other words, I think if I were safe and felt completely at ease, what would I be thinking and feeling in this situation? How open, how curious, how much would I want to understand?
Yeah. From that state, I can see where all kinds of positive possibilities present themselves.
Yeah.
And we're aware of so many more potential solutions to a problem, if there's a problem,
Yeah.
or learnings, if there's something to learn there. But as we open our hearts, we also open our awareness and our
Yeah.
ability to take in more information and
Yeah.
to just to be more connected to the situation that we're in.
Which obviously that's a win. If I feel more connected to
Totally,
you
totally.
as we push through an uncomfortable conversation. Number two, I get to reconnect with my creativity, so I have more to bring to the situation.
Yeah.
You're going to feel that because of the mirror neurons that we've talked about.
Absolutely.
You're going to sense my shift.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, like you say, there's more opportunities, because we talk a lot with our clients who are interested in performance and, the really going to that next level. It's those hidden opportunities, the opportunities that we don't even know the cost
Yes.
because we've missed them.
Because they're gone.
Yeah, we don't know what could have unfolded
Yeah.
if we could have further had the conversation, if we problem solved in a different way,
Yes.
taken initiative, opened ourselves up a little more and been vulnerable. Brene Brown's whole piece on the power of vulnerability.
Yeah.
We have no idea the gift that could be there
Absolutely.
if we're willing to do that.
Yeah. And even I think that for most people the default is to kind of shrink back and get out of the discomfort, because that's something that for the most part has been bred into us, if you will, or something that we learn very, very young in our lives.
Yeah.
If this is something that we can learn and master, this idea of staying the course, of just staying and being comfortable with the discomfort.
Stay in the uncomfortable situation, number one.
Yeah.
Just stay. Then take a breath and go inside and find your heart.
Yeah.
Find your passion, find your creativity or your curiosity at least, just some openness that can allow you to then start to see what else is there in the situation.
Yeah. What other potentials exist?
That's right. And then the third is move into that. Yeah.
Step into it with, having rediscovered that power to step into it and to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
What an incredible leadership skill.
Oh, absolutely. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think the thing we wanted to say, as a final note is we are all in this learning journey. Everybody is learning about how to be more and more present, more and more comfortable with situations that challenge us.
Yeah.
And so we're all in this together. We can learn, we can help each other. And we hope that this conversation will help you be more willing to stay in a difficult situation, to stay present, and just see if you can explore what else is there, because there is gold on the other side.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for October. We hope that you've enjoyed our whole series on how we can get in our own way and how we can get out of it. So, final note, favorite book of the three that we featured this month?
My favorite book of the three, I think a great place to start, if you haven't read any of them, a great place to start is with A Magician's Way. Because it piques your curiosity, it presents all kinds of potentials, and I think that it'll really fuel the fire to learn more about how we can really live free, authentic lives outside of the box or the swing circle, or however you want to describe it. Just that live in that place of being conscious, awake, and presented with a whole rainbow of potentials and possibilities.
Great.
And you, what's your favorite book?
Well, I'll take a different tack. If you're in a leadership position and you're challenged with people that you're dealing with on a regular basis, my real favorite is Leadership and Self-Deception.
Yeah, it was a great book too.
It's such a good book. It's
Yeah.
it's a story about a man who's clearly in his own way running a company,
Yeah.
seeing a series of things that are going wrong, and the opportunity to really learn and how it then ripples out into all parts of his life.
Yeah.
So,
But nonetheless, 3 great books.
3 great.
Yeah.
The Big Leap, The Magician's Way, and Leadership and Self-Deception. All right, so we'll be getting ready for Halloween and then moving into November, where we're going to have a whole nother theme for you to digest and come along with us on this journey.